Good afternoon. My name's Larry Deal. I'm a member of the Antique Car Club of Southern Ohio. We are sponsoring the car show here in Yakantangi Park in Chillicothe, Ohio. This is our 37th annual car show. We put it on every year. We have 15 classes of antique cars and 2 trophies per class. And we also have the top 20 for modifieds up to year 1990. 20 trophies per modified class. We have a beautiful setting for the park. Come see us, Chillicothe sometime.
Hi, I'm Gary Reiterman. I've owned this car since 1976. It's a 36 Ford Cabriolet. It's basically, it was a stock car for probably 20 of those years. Since then I've modified it. The engine is, well, it's totally modified. It's a flathead Mercury engine. I just put a supercharger on it this year, which is about as much as you can do that flathead. So it runs very well. We put probably 500 miles a year on it and take it around to a lot of car shows. But it's basically the original Ford running gear. It's got a Columbia 2-speed rear end in it. So you can cruise 65, 70 mile an hour down the road and have a lot of fun. Yeah, we're looking at the rumble seat here. My grandkids like to ride back here, and but on some days you never know whether it's going to rain or not. And we've had times when it starts out and the sun's shining nice, and then it turns on you. But there's a lot of room down underneath here, and you can actually crawl right on down underneath and pull the lid down like this, and then ride there till the sun comes back out, and then you can put the lid back out and climb back up here and go on down the road.
I'm Charles Shunkwaller of Greenfield, Ohio. This is a 1937 Pontiac 4-door touring sedan. In 1980 we hit a deer and it came through the windshield and cut my wife's throat. And after we did that, I bought yard goods and did the whole interior myself, sewed it and everything and put it back in. And I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out. It's a good running automobile and we enjoy driving it, and we just enjoy it very much. I did this summer we had to tear it down and put new valves in it. The valves were burned up, and we put all new valves in it, and it runs real good, and just a nice running automobile.
My name is Harold Halcomb. I live at Lake White, Southern Ohio. It's the 1931 Model A Ford Sport Coupe. I just got back recently from the Smoky Mountains. I drive this car down every year to Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and try to stay off the interstates as much as possible. But it runs out really good. And I've been to, this will be the 20th car show I've been to, and I've got 19 trophies at home. So it's been pretty much fun to drive it around. It's a fun car to take to shows and also just to enjoy it.
How long have you had it?
Approximately 4 years.
When you got it, was it like this, or did you have to do any
It's pretty much like you see it. I added these spare wheels in the front fenders and the fog lights and spotlights in the trunk on the rear. Otherwise, it's just like you see it now.
Well, thank you for showing it to us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jim Spires, West Union, Ohio. And this is a 57 Ford retractable. I bought it from down at Bethel, Ohio, from Frank Manning. And he had it 30 years or close to it. And the body work was all done by Ron Trotter from West Union, Ohio. And Barry's Chevrolet in West Union one did the paint job on it. And we bought it in 1999. That's the down process there. Come back up, first thing happens is you see the trunk bed comes up, and then the little flipper thing comes out.
convertible there.
And there she is as a convertible.
That's so cool. And it's got a little lever. The lever is
Just a little push-pull button.
Uh-huh.
Pull out on it, makes it go down. Shove it in, shove it up. It comes up.
And it runs off of. It uses.
There's 8 motors that operate the top, and I know 10 solenoids, and I don't know how many relay switches. I don't remember. Ron Trotter, he worked on all that. He's from West Virginia. I think he's one of the best body men there is in the country. He did all that kind of work for me.
Is it hard getting parts for all that?
No, at Jerry's Restoration in Springdale, Arkansas, I can get anything I want.
And this was the first of the 3 years for the retractables, right?
Yeah, 57, 58, and 59. When they made them.
Were there any?
I just added this part on yesterday, these bumper guards yesterday.
And that was like an optional.
Yeah, it was an option. This piece and the one on the other side were options.
Pretty neat. It almost makes me think of like Mercury, like almost like an M, you know, like Mercury.
Yeah, they call that a V-bar.
Yeah.
This one in the center, it's called a V-bar. And that's 2001 Corvette Torch Red paint, or 1961 Thunderbird had the same color.
Well, thank you so much for showing us your car.
Well, you're quite welcome. Glad to do it.
I'm Ray Plowman, Jamestown, Ohio. This is a 59 retractable, Ford retractable. I've had for about, 3.5 years. Took me about 3 years to restore it, so. It's completely finished and it's all stock, as far as I know, everything, so.
Well, when you got it, what kind of shape was it in when you got it?
Wasn't too bad. It'd been hit in the back quarter panel and I had it repaired. There wasn't too much rust. This car is from Oklahoma, and so it's, it's pretty, was pretty clean when I got it. But I've done a lot to it. I've done the whole thing, so.
Yeah. Are people ever, do you find that a lot of people don't know about retractables?
That's right. A lot of them never seen one before, so. Then a lot of them, their folks have had them, so. They were pretty popular, I guess, back in those 3 years, but they just quit making them. I don't know why, but they're pretty popular now. I know they're rare too. So.
And this is the last of the 3 years, isn't it?
Right.
Well, thank you for showing us the car.
Okay, you're welcome.
My name is Zeb Jones. I'm from Cheshire, Ohio. This is a 1965 Coronet 500. Something you don't see very often. They're pretty unusual. Very, very hard to find parts for. I've owned the car about 4 years. Been searching for parts for 4 years. Pretty much everything on the car has been redone. It's got all polyurethane bushings in the front end, and it's been converted to disc brake. All new interior, all new glass. I've got a lot of new old stock parts on what I can find. There's a lot of them I can't find. Still searching. It's a 440 board over 30,000. It's got all Mopar performance things inside of it. Pretty much, it's all new inside. It's around 450 to 500 horsepower.
How about like the door panels in that? Are they original? Or?
Those are the original door panels. They're in decent shape. It's all the seats have it's got a legendary interior in it, carpet and seat covers and seat foam. It's a factory air car.
Is that fairly rare?
Yes, it's pretty rare, and that's the white face gauges. I made those myself. I did that with computer. Me and my wife's been working on this car about 4 years now.
My name's Rich Gonzalez from Parkersburg, West Virginia. My car's a 72 Plymouth Cuda. It has a 340 4-barrel, which was factory. It is a numbers matching car, which means that is the motor that came in the car when it was manufactured, along with the transmission and the rear end. It has a 727 automatic with a 391 sure grip rear end. It has headers, an aluminum intake, and it has an MSD multiple discharge ignition. It is the correct color, which is petty blue or B3 for the proper color code. It has a black vinyl top, which came on the car. It is not the original. It does have a shaker hood, which is not original for the 72, but I liked it, so it's what I wanted. Bought the car a year and a half ago. We completely disassembled it and repainted it back the color that it is now, and just added the little things that makes my car my car.
Hi, my name is Don Warner. I have a 1959 Chevrolet Apache pickup truck, 6-cylinder standard transmission. Been completely restored from the ground up. Bought it 11 years ago, sat in the garage for about 3 years. And we finally saved up enough money to restore it and had a guy completely redo the thing from the ground up. Paint, he stripped everything off of it except the cab. It's got an all new bed, complete new paint job. Everything's all original except the paint, and redone all the chrome on the bumpers.
So this is all pretty original?
Yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, here's a brochure that was original when it come out in 1959. And this came from a Chevrolet dealership. And everybody said, well, they didn't make a blue pickup truck. And I said, well, I beg to differ with you. I have the proof of it right here. We've been to quite a few shows around the southern part of the state. Been out 12 times and won 12 trophies with it, so we're well impressed with it. Well impressed.
Well, thank you so much for showing it to me.
You're very welcome.
All right, my name's Kenneth Aldridge. It's 1966 C10 Chevrolet pickup. It's bought new for the farm. It was set in the garage for years, and we remodeled it, had it painted and new brakes and everything put back onto it. And the way it sets is the way it is. It's the way it came back out. We bought it new. So.
Get out and drive it a lot?
No, it's the shows now. It's about it. It's got a 250 motor in it. 30,800 miles.
That's all? Mm-hmm. Wow, that's big.
It's got the wood bed in it, 8 foot.
Well, thanks for showing it to me.
Thank you.
My name's Roger Benson. 74 Olds Delta 88. I got this 3 years ago. It was a one owner. I'm the second owner of it. I started on the mechanics wise. It was just basically a lot of old stuff that aged over the years. Front end mostly, renewed radiator, ball joints. I'm just now getting in the body. I put the molding back in chrome instead of your black vinyl, and put rims on it, but other than that, it's mostly all original. Interior, it was in good shape. I had to do nothing with that. It was just, it belonged to an old man, and he took care of the interior, and he basically gave it to me for $1,000 because the transmission went out. Basically, it was just old bands and stuff, and
he went and put a down payment on a new car and left me with this. So, but it's been a good car for the 3 years I had it. It had 84,000 on it when I got it originally, and I just now turned it over 100. But it's a good highway car that I've been just basically working on as I get the money for the last 3 years. And
I'm Daryl Massey, Chillicothe, Ohio. This is 1955 Metropolitan. These were built from 1954 to 1961. This is the low number one. It's in 9,000. There were around 98,000 of them built. Not as many convertibles as there were hardtops. It's a car that you can drive 55 mile an hour on the highway. Has no problems. And it's got a remarkable ride for its size. Has a 4-cylinder engine. They were made in England and distributed by the Nash dealership in this country. And then finally Nash and Hudson went together and they had a Hudson Metropolitan. They all looked the same. They just had a different badge on the front, was the only difference. The top is hand operated. One man can put it down. It has a Continental on the rear. I guess you can't see that, but that was unusual back in those days to have a Continental. They were probably one of the first people to have a Continental on the car with an enclosed cover. I've had the car about 7 years. If you see the key in the back seat, that's a lock, and that back seat lays down, and that's your trunk space. As you see, there's no trunk lid on this model. Now later on, about 1959, they put a trunk lid on the outside. But that's how the first trunk was. Kind of unusual and kind of hard to get into. We don't carry much stuff in that except the jack. I have the original jack. The jack fits in a little bracket right here, and when you have a flat, it raises the whole side of the car. The whole car comes up on one side. The doors will fit either side. This door will fit a right or left side. The only thing, they come plain and you cut out for the lock. So therefore there's not a right and left door, which is a unique feature. Even now, I think, but in those days it's really unique. It has a radio. They didn't have many accessories. It has a radio. This one has a heat gauge, which was an accessory, a round gauge there. And this one didn't come out with a glove compartment door. It just had a hole. They didn't put a door on until like 57 or 8, but you could find the doors and people got them and put them on like this. It makes it look a little better, but you know, they really they didn't have any on. Has a wonderful heater. Has a weather eye heater, which is the same as used in the big Nash cars, and it does a real fine job.
Is this made to sit seat 4 or not necessarily? Or?
Yes, you can sit. It has a little seat in the back. As you can see, it's my top cover. A little seat in the back. A couple of kids could ride in there. Yeah. But they didn't have anything, but they were all manual shift. They didn't have any automatics. Hardly any accessories. This one has the mirrors, the wheel covers, and as I told you, the temperature gauge. And that's practically everything that's on this in the way of accessories. The only thing it had besides that, it had a set of backup lights and an oil filter, I believe, is the only thing it had with us.
And did you have to do much for restoration, or when you got it, what kind of shape was it in?
When I bought the car, it had been painted the same color it is now. It has new top, new interior, new chrome, new tires. It's just kind of a re-restoration. I bought it from a fella in this town, a local guy. In fact, he's here today. He'd had it for 22 years, and I bought it from him. It's a fun car.
My name is Tom Armstrong. Well, this is a 61 DeSoto. It was new by my dad, and then he passed it on to us. It was only made one year, 1 month out of 1960. I have now passed it on to my son, and he is in the process of passing it on to the grandson. And this car was just got a 361 in it, and they quit making it right after this car was made.
Shots from different angles. This has got so many unique angles. I mean,
I'll say it's got a lot of angles. You try to clean it,
oh,
you
yeah.
find out.
Like the turn signals, you know, match the canted look in the fins. I just love how everything kind of matches there.
Well, I can tell you a lot of things about it while we're talking here that you couldn't put down on it. But see, they were using up parts on this car when they were making it. All this front end on it is Chrysler except for the grill. It's Chrysler Windsor 61. And the bumpers and the turn signals and the canted headlights and all are Chrysler. The taillights are the same in the Chrysler, only they're reversed. The top ones are red on this one, and the backup lights are red in the Chrysler. And the dash came out of a 60 Dodge Dart. I mean, they were using up dashes from that. This is not a very romantic car, you understand.
Is this the original plastic on the seats? The original plastic?
The plastic is original, the fabric is not. But it's original type. Everybody thinks the 61 Plymouth and this are the two ugliest ones out.
Oh, they are.
They're not. To me, see, it depends on the body style. On the 61 Convertible in red, I think is the prettiest car I've seen. The Plymouth I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's just oddball enough to be attractive, you know.
Yeah, well, this is...
The only engine that's available is a 361 two-barrel because that's what they evidently had more of than anything else. Right after the first month, they sent a thing out to the original owner that said, if you want to turn this thing in, because it's going to be an orphan, you can, and we'll give you full price on a 61 Chrysler, and all you have to do is pay the difference. But he didn't turn it in, so when he got done with it, possibly 73 or 4 in there somewhere while we took it, and I ran it till 98. Turned it over to my son, and he's still running it, and the grandson's still trying to get it.
My name is Bob Davis, and it's a 1939 Chevy Coupe. Has a 350 engine with an automatic transmission. Has a cutlass rear end.
You get out and drive it a lot?
Yeah, I drive it through the week. It has a Camaro subframe, has a Walker radiator, has tilt steering wheel.
Is this something, have you always liked this vintage car, or have you had other cars this vintage, or is this...
No, I've always been an old Coronet.
And what attracted you to this one?
I've been looking for a 39 Coupe for the last 10 or 15 years. I ran across it, so I just bought it.
Well, thanks so much for showing it to us.
Thank you.
We bought this 39 Pontiac in Mount Olivet, Kentucky. And we were 15 months having it restored. And it's all original.
And my name's Mary Fight from New Vienna. You want to say your name?
My name's Bob Fight.
And you did all the restoration and everything on it there?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you get out and drive it a lot?
Quite a bit. Quite a few car shows.
Yeah.
And we drive it around town.
And it's got
Short trips around town.
it's got 12 trophies since June the 16th.
Oh, wow. I think it'd be fairly rare. Do you ever see any other 39 Pontiacs? I don't think you'd see much, would you?
Not too
I haven't seen another in, I bet, 40, 45 years.
Oh, yeah. The back seat always seems like it's such a couch, like a very comfortable, you know, you could just...
I got my dolls and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And my little kitty cat up there.
And what engine it's got like a straight 8 or 6 or
flathead
6? Okay.
Flathead 6. They made them both that year. 8 and 6.
It's all original. Have you had to do much work on it or anything like that?
Not the engine. Body, which had surface rust all over it. And quickly sanded and primed it and painted it.
How long ago did you paint it?
3 years ago.
Yeah. Is this the two-tone? Is that your idea, or how, the red and black?
They were painted that color.
Oh, really?
Back then.
Huh. I didn't realize
and
that.
the design on the paint was that design back in '39 too.
Yeah. It's pretty rare.
We go to a lot of car shows and have a lot of fun.
Very good. Well, thanks for sharing the car with us.
Thank you. God bless.
Yeah, I'm Paul Salyers from Circleville, Ohio. This is a 1932 Buick 66S series. About 7 are actually known in the registry in existence. Yeah, I've had the car for about 2 years, total restoration off the frame, and bead blasted. Chrome was done in Grafton, Ohio, and it was like a year project, steady work project. And interior was done by GMB Upholstery in Circleville, Ohio. Of course, I did all the framework, all the work that's not seen. I did, had 1,100 hours in the registration, and friends and family helped me put it back together. You know, a nice little project. I took it to the Buick Nationals in Kokomo, Indiana this year, and great turnout, over 400 Buicks at the show, and it was just a nice trip, nice people over there. So I think that's about it on the car in this area. So
thanks for showing it to us.
Thank you.
My name is Ron Ramey from Circleville, Ohio. My car is a 1955 Ford Crown Victoria. It was a complete frame-off car. I did it about 7 years ago. Took about 3.5 years to completely do it. The chrome has been redone. The stainless steel has been straightened and buffed. The engine is completely rebuilt. Has all new springs, front and rear. Just about everything on the car has been rebuilt.
Well, thank you so much for showing it to us.
All right, thank you.
My name's Dave Allen, Albany, Ohio. I have a 1968 Chevrolet van. It was originally purchased and used as an emergency squad, Oak Hill Fire Department. I bought it probably 4 years ago. It was red with a gold interior. We've changed it to a different color red with a red interior, vinyl seats. It's been completely disassembled and restored to original condition. Other than that, that's about all I can tell you about it. It's a 256 cylinder standard shift, 5,600 original miles.
Well, my name is Tom Kuhn, and this is a 1930 Model B 7-passenger Purus Aero.
How long have you had it?
I've had it for a little over a year now, but it's been in and out of my family for about 40 years.
How about original restored?
It's an older restoration. Most of the work was done in the 1960s and 70s.
You get out and drive it a lot yet? Or?
Oh, mainly just around Chillicothe, Ohio here.
So it's got the jump seats on the back? Or
It has 2 jump seats behind the front seat that pull up, and you can seat 2 extra passengers that way.
Can we take a look inside there?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is the jump seat. 7-passenger. It has a straight 8 engine. And these were manufactured in Buffalo, New York from 1901 to 1938.
How is it for cruising down the freeway?
Well, it's not a real freeway type car. It has the original rear end in it, so that the top speed is about 50 miles an hour. And I've considered putting in a high-speed rear end. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not.
Right now, it's all original.
It's all original.
Well, thanks for showing us this.
Thank you.
Okay, Henry Hudson, 1953 Packard Caribbean convertible. I obtained the car in Quincy, Illinois from a funeral director back in 1979. The car then was painted black, but the original color from the factory is what it is now. I restored it back to all original since I've had the car. There was 850 built. Packard built it to compete with the Cadillac Eldorado in '53. They took the small Packard convertible and put the open wheel wells, the chrome on the side of it, and to compete with Cadillac Eldorado. And there, like I say, they built 850 in 1953. And I don't know how many's left, but the Packard Club estimates that there might be 200 left of this model.
It's a beautiful car, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The color is Matador Maroon and they only made 4 colors in 1953. They made the Matador Maroon, they made a beige, a light blue, and a light green is the 4 original factory colors on the Caribbean in 1953.
Yeah. Straight 8. Oh yeah, it's definitely a straight 8. Pretty good. Well, thanks for showing us the car today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to show it to you.
Yeah.
My name is Martin Addy, and we have a 1931 model 826 Packard 4-door sedan. And the car's been restored about 25 years. As you can see, it's in excellent shape. We bring it to a lot of the antique and classic car shows. It's just a lot of fun, and the people really love the old car. They're really crazy about the color of the car. It's got a straight 8 engine in it. Now, we always bring our girls with us. They work for my wife. They seem to have a good time. She calls them Flo and Liz. They were out late last night, so they just stayed in the car.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Big old straight 8?
Mm-hmm.
What's the displacement on this?
I believe that's got 326 cubes.
Have you ever had to do much with it or anything?
Plugs, points, wires, typical stuff.
Could this be cranked? Is that a hole so you could crank it, or is that just?
Yeah, that's for the crank. Of course, it's got an electric starter on it.
Right. How late did they keep on putting that crank spot in case you needed it? Is that?
I'm going to say probably early 30s. I'm not sure exactly when they did get a strictly electric start.
I wonder if the electric starters were just not reliable, or just kind of a carryover. A lot of people think they needed it, or.
Well, I think that was an emergency kit more than anything.
Yeah.
But no, we have a lot of fun with the car. It's just a fun car, and well, anyone that's around these old cars, they know it's just the best people in the world are car people.